Okay, up next here we have the API 2500 mix bus compressor. This unit is used all over the world in recording studios and mastering facilities as a kind of a final step, usually across the left and right master mix bus as you're printing your masters. So this thing's got a ton of flexibility and functionality built into it, and it takes a second to wrap your head around it when you first kind of get into it to see exactly how it works. But once you do, it's really, really powerful, and I love this thing. On the control side, from left to right, we have the threshold control, we have the attack switch settings, and then we have the ratio control, which is also again switched, and then we have the release control, which is also switched. But if you go to the furthest setting to the right here, it allows you to use this potentiometer right here, which allows you to use variable settings instead of the pre-selected switch settings, which is a very nice feature. Also, we have in the tone section here, you have different types of knees. You have a soft, medium, and hard knee compression. You have a thrust function, which also has 3 different settings, which is a normal, medium, and loud, which is really cool. Is it gives you kind of the opportunities to see how your mix is going to sound with like kind of a louder, more aggressive type of a mastering compression, or kind of a little bit of a softer, kind of a more contemporary modern type of compression, or you can also select, different types of the old or the new style, which I'm not really sure if it's kind of an opto style or what it is, what they've modeled it after. But in any event, with those 3 switches, you have a lot of different functionality. Then next we have the link function over here. And the link function, which is pretty cool, what it does is it allows you to determine and select how much the left channel affects the right channel, or vice versa as far as the compression. So if something's really hard on the left channel, do you want that to also trigger the compressor for the right channel at the same time? And what you get to do is you can select how much of a percentage variable you want for that type of a function. Very cool, very powerful. Also, next to that, you have the shape, which is your low pass filter and high pass filter, which you can kind of eliminate the low frequencies or the high frequencies from triggering the compressor. Then you have your output section, which is this is your compressor in, compressor bypass, and your gain and gain makeup. And what you can do here is when you push this, if this button is not depressed, then you're just using the 0 dB output or whatever the gain reduction output, gain reduction adjusted output happens to be. Or if you push it in, then this potentiometer becomes active and you can use it for makeup gain. And then we have the left and right meters that shows you either selectable compression, gain reduction, input, or output levels. And that is the basic functions of the API 2500. Okay, I'm going to use this the same little part of a demo I was working on for a local cover band. And we're just going to loop part of the song and kind of play around a little bit with this compressor. Now, my objective here is to not make this thing sound like a finished master. I'm just going to show what the compressor can do. So here we go. An oldie but a goodie. Okay, so right now the compressor is in, and all of the tone functions are at the lowest settings.
I said whip it.
The threshold is set as high as possible.
Whip it good.
So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this up
I said whip it.
so we can actually start hearing this compression come in. So what will happen is once the threshold is being reached, there will be a red LED that will illuminate here so we can tell exactly at what point the threshold is being broken. Now we're starting to see it. Okie dokie.
I said whip it. Whip it good. I said whip it.
Play with the attack.
Whip it good.
Let's speed it up a little bit. Should shave a little bit of the high end off. Slow it down. ratios. Keep an eye on the meters on the right hand side.
I said whip it.
It's a very, very gentle, something you'd use like on a final mix.
I said whip it.
Let's go back more aggressive here first.
Whip it good.
Okay, right now I have the releases set so that the variable potentiometer right here is in play. So what we're going to do is I'm going to switch it backwards to go to the preset factory settings. You can watch how the meters respond a little bit slower here
Whip it good.
on the release side.
I said whip it.
Slowly
Whip it
faster,
good.
a little bit faster still. What I'm watching is how fast the meters move back down towards, its 0 point, meaning zero gain reduction.
I said whip it. Whip it
Okay, so now
good.
we'll go back to the switched, or off of the switches into the variable release.
Whip it good.
Okay, so now we're going to go as fast as this setting will allow us to go. Meters are bouncing pretty good there. Nice little response. So let's go slow that down.
I said whip it. Whip it good.
The compressor's taking longer and longer to recover.
I said whip it.
You'll also notice a divergence between the two meters, the left and right. And that's because of the way that this link is set right now. It's the minimum interaction, meaning the amount of one channel affects the other as far as the compression goes. So if I switch this over to 100%, you'll see that they start responding together.
Whip it good.
Pretty cool.
I said whip it. Whip it good.
Okay. So let's go try some different settings here. Let's kind of speed the compressor back up a little bit. A little bit of life back into things. Okay, so now we're going to go on the knee. Let's go to a harder edge on the knee once the threshold's released. Now all of a sudden it sounds a little bit more aggressive.
I said whip it. Whip it good.
Go to the thrush.
I said whip it. Whip it good.
Medium. Switch the style of compression.
I said whip it. Whip it good. I said whip it. Whip it good.
That's the kind of compression you probably use on like some new metal. With softer setting.
I said whip it. Whip it good. I said whip it.
Let's link those 100% on the
Whip
channels.
it good.
Okay. One thing that's really cool is that once you have this thing set, you can actually go in and bypass the entire unit just to A and B what you're doing. And we're doing quite a bit of output driving on that. Just from the compression.
Whip it good. I said whip it.
Pretty serious.
Whip it good.
Now I'm going to input or turn on the variable output control. Okay, so now that knob is controlling the overall output here. Let's turn that up, kind of get it back about where it was. That's fairly
I
close.
said whip it.
So if we wanted to really drive this back into the input here,
I said whip it. Whip it good.
let's bypass the whole thing. Let's go a little bit harder
I said whip it.
ratio.
Whip it good. I said whip it.
Change the tone up a little bit there.
say whip it. Whip it good.
Let's make the channels as independent from each other as possible. Let's go for some serious.
I said whip it. Whip it good. I said whip it. Whip it good.
Pretty cool. Anyhow, that is the API 2500. Thanks for watching.